Ghana, we know that women make business go round. No doubt about it.
Womanpreneur on Sunrise.
You know you find past me, girl, I see my days.
For what you need it for.
It's a good start.
It's a good start. We'll take it. $1 million will do what it needs to do. Let me say good morning to my two womenpreneurs. I have in studio Belinda Bwedu, founder, Atana Women. This one is no stranger to us. This face is a very familiar face. Good morning to you, Belinda.
Good morning.
I also have Abba in the studio. Abba Owami Menu, General Manager, Hype Up Limited. Ladies, good morning.
Hyped morning.
A hyped morning. I like that. I'm actually going to start off with you, Abba. Every time Abba contacts me, she says a hyped morning, a hyped afternoon, a hyped evening. And I like that you're always talking about your brand. It puts the brand in mind.
Yeah.
Is that a strategic move on your part as a business owner to even how you communicate with others? That's intentional.
Yeah, it's I read something, I think it was a quote, and it said it's something when people are able to use your brand as a verb. So I was like, okay, how can I make hype stick in people's heads?
That's interesting. So, you make your business a verb. We're learning something this morning. You know, Womanpreneur, it's not just about following the stories and chronicling the stories, but also getting tips and tricks for budding womenpreneurs. Belinda, have you learned something just now? That's very cool, isn't it?
I have. I think I need to find a way of incorporating
that. And you are the founder, Atana Women. How do we make Atana a verb? A good Atana to you. Good morning. We'll figure it out. Before we leave today, we'll figure all of that out. But again, good morning. How are we finding business these days? We live in a very tricky economic climate. Belinda, how is business?
I agree with you. But to be honest with you, I think you have to make of it what you want and what you will yourself, and be aware of what's happening out there and make sure that you have the right processes in place, especially the flexibility of mind to adapt to the situations that you find yourself in.
You say if you're too rigid, you could find yourself in trouble.
Definitely.
But you agree with that? About not being too rigid, being able to pivot and change things around if need be.
Exactly. For Hype Up, for example, we are built, we're more about integration. Right? So you'll find that Hypeflix, for example, that's how come I came to know you, it's under events. So we have a lot of arms. We have sales, we have media, we have events as well. So depending on the climate, as she's saying, being able to veer into the other arm, relying on the other arm when the other arm is not giving you the results or whatever you're expecting. So I totally agree with what she's saying.
Now let's talk a little bit about your business, Hype Up Limited. I know one of the arms of the business, which I am quite keen on, is the cinema experience, the outdoor cinema experience. People are often asking, what's there to do in Accra other than just drinking and eating and dancing? Well, here it comes Hype Up Limited, and you offer some diverse ways to enjoy yourselves in the city. And then how did this outdoor cinema idea come about?
Well, it's actually quite interesting. So a client came to us and said, I have a venue that I think we can, do an event. So we went to go and check it out.
And for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, you can get a feel of what it's like to be at one of these events where you park and all of that. But Abba will tell us more about that. Yeah.
So when we saw it, I was like, okay, well, the idea or the original event you wanted to do, but we saw the picture of a drive-in at the beach. You go, you park, you have the beach view, you have the breeze. It would be nice. So that's actually where it, started from. And the rest, I guess, is
history.
Yeah, but basically, we are an innovative company, so we are always looking for new ways, to bring about new ideas. So this was we started this pre-COVID. That was around 2019, December.
And then COVID came and wiped the whole show. So then you had to, like you say, pivot and try and recover.
Yeah, but actually, when it happened, people started calling. They were like, this is actually the best time.
Actually, now that you say, because you are in your own vehicle,
exactly.
You don't have to mingle with anybody, you can stay safe.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah. So we went back, we went to we do it at different places, of course, La Boma Beach, done it at the Ghana Club. So the Ghana Club actually has been one of the greatest supporters because it's taken the headache of, finding an actual venue, paying for the venue, because they gave it to us as we are members. It's a members only club.
Right.
Yeah. So we started with the Ghana Club, as you can see there. It's one of the oldest clubs in Ghana. It's actually older than Ghana.
It's older than Ghana, the Ghana Club. Interesting. We're learning something new. It's still Ghana month.
Yeah. So that was actually one of the places Kwame Nkrumah and them used to go to, brainstorm and have their sessions.
Interesting.
Yeah. So at some point they wanted to take it down, but it took Kwame Nkrumah, stepping in to say, no, this is, a great building. And so, yeah.
Amazing. And thank you for that little background on the Ghana Club. It's even older than Ghana. And I had an opportunity to attend one of these, park and watch. Very cool. You park and then you tune into a frequency. You can hear the film directly into the car. Belinda, would you go to something like this?
I have literally been looking for something like this.
Well,
I've been wanting to go to something like this.
Well, voila. We'll tell you about how you can do that. But I'm coming to you now. Let's talk about Atana Women. Is that an abbreviation?
It is not actually.
Atana. Tell us about that.
So Atana Women is a women's network, a global women's network that comprises of various little networks for different types of women. So we have two main cohorts, one for mums and then one for, shall I say, younger ladies up and coming. And we'll soon be launching one called Atana Royale. So we have Atana Mums, Atana Women Hive, and Atana Royale, which is more for your mom, So for those whose kids have flown the nest and they are more sort of cruising level.
Well, not for my mom. I have not left the nest. So I'm still there. I'm still in the nest.
We never really leave, but you know what I mean. So essentially, we're a network that provides women with all they need for their womanhood journey, from all sorts of resources, information, an opportunity to network and bond. Literally, I can't think of hardly anything that we don't really tap into to make sure that women are well informed, empowered, have the information and resources they need to go out there and live their best lives.
What made you start this?
So it started initially as Atana Mums when I became a mother, and I realized that I had so many questions, so many things that I was unsure of, and I wondered if surely I can't be the only person that's in this situation. I have other friends that maybe have 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, some that are a little bit further ahead. So what if I got everyone together and we essentially shared information? If you've been through a stage with your child that I haven't been through, then you could pass on that information and so on and so forth. And we started with just a handful of us, and it quickly grew into a big global network of all
global, you say?
Yes.
I
so
see.
We have women joining in from all over the world, essentially. And then I realized that this is something that is not just needed for mothers. It's something that all women need. There are things that you have experienced in life that I may not have experienced, that I can really do with a helping hand in without making all the mistakes that you may have had. So by broadening it out and by providing different cohorts that suit the different types of ladies, everyone's able to join their experience, join their information together, and just kind of raise super women, basically.
I see. That's very impactful. Putting together a group of women for the purposes of knowledge sharing. You say now it has exploded. It's global. From all over the world, women are sharing their experiences, because as women, our experiences are very unique when it comes to business and everything in between. And I'll bring you in here. What would you say has been your experience as a woman in business? Do you always find that your voice carries authority? Because I know you're part of a group. Is it all women or women?
The majority. So 3 of us are women.
Women. Oh, good. So you can bully your milk. I like the sound of that. But even in that space, how do you find, the business landscape as a woman?
Well, you can't discount the fact that, being a woman, especially for me, for example, sometimes when I go somewhere and I'm trying to pitch the driving or other business, it's like this little girl, this young girl, what does she know, But it's something that you can, with confidence, which comes from knowing your stuff, knowing what you're doing. It speaks for you. So when it started, it was a little, intimidating.
Right.
After you find your ground, like I'm saying, and you become more confident, and having a partner, our male partner is a pleasure to work with,
Okay.
So it makes everything easier.
Oh, it's because he's listening today, or he's on his best. But we appreciate, of course, the men in our lives that, help propel us and also make life easier. Now back to you, Belinda. You have some conference coming up. Is that something that you organize every year? And how does that work business-wise? Why was it important to, beyond having a group of women, speaking, why was it important to then, have a formalized event and get the word out?
So we started in 2019 with our first conference, and the idea was to do it annually, but of course COVID hit.
COVID was just, Charlie.
But interestingly, that's why I spoke about being flexible, because it allowed us to tap into things that we would have never imagined doing. So what happened after our first physical conference in 2019, we started doing lots of virtual mini I would say expert sessions is what we call them, and we would do them on a monthly basis, and the motivation behind that was really if you recall, COVID was such a stressful period. Everywhere you look, it's doom and gloom. And we found that our platforms were overwhelmed with the feeling of what's going to happen. Are we all, is the world ending? So we wanted to find an outlet to get our minds to focus on something else, to prepare us for a time post-COVID, being very hopeful that it would come to an end. So we would bring in on a month, even like bi-weekly basis, experts, doctors, makeup artists, chefs, name it, to just provide us with a number of different resources to learn, to get informed. So that's what we've been doing since we did our conference in 2019. We also have regular meetups in different countries. They can be social, they can be all sorts of different things. And then we have our retreat as well annually. But this would be our first time having our physical conference again post-COVID.
Post-COVID, yes. Okay. So now you'll move from the virtual space, and then you'll be having a physical conference. This is the Elevated Woman. You have some media heavyweights who will be speaking. Our very own Miss Nancy is going to be in attendance. Tell us a little bit about this event.
So it's something that I'm extremely excited about. It's happening on the 1st of April. I know there's events going on, but okay, let's send the men to Shy Hills and do, and then the ladies can join us at the Atana Women's Conference. So it is going to be extremely impactful. We have a mixture of speakers. We will have practical workshops, and when I say practical, I mean really practical. So we'll be speaking on things like entrepreneurship. We'll be speaking on things like self-branding, self-development. We'll be speaking on empowerment through education. And then we also have a relationship panel. So we will have the likes of Ochame Kwame, the Ajite Anangs coming to talk about us on the topic from first date to forever.
First date to forever. Interesting.
First date to forever. And we'll be addressing all sorts of questions there. So it doesn't matter where you find yourself, you will be able to glean some information. And then when it comes to the practical workshops, we'll be doing Building Confidence Through Style, which is by BV Styling. We'll have entrepreneurship workshop that is being provided by EDIP Consulting. And then we'll also have Maureen Biney, award-winning software engineer all the way from the UK, who will be addressing things like bridging the gap between tech and women. So we really want to make sure that everyone who comes has something that they can really sort of tap into, get that claw stuck into, and develop themselves from that point onwards. So I'm really looking forward to everyone coming on board. It's going to be an amazing, amazing event.
And this is important, especially at a time where people need to make as much money as possible. We all want tips and tricks, especially entrepreneurs, branding. These days, we're all a brand, whether you like it or not. The way you present yourself is important, and especially if you're thinking about getting into business. So an event like this, a conference like this, very important. Abba, is this the type of thing that you would attend?
Yeah.
I saw you nodding, nodding along. To get practical tips as well. How do you learn along the way? And what would you say has helped you build your confidence in your own business, Hype Up Limited?
I think having the right people around you is very key. As she's saying, having people who've been through something before you to be able to advise you on, mistakes you can avoid has been a crucial thing for me. And I never stop reading.
Okay.
I never stop reading because you always think you know something, but then you go deeper and you realize
you don't know. In fact, they say if you are the smartest person in any room, you're in the wrong room.
Yes.
You're in the wrong room, and that's why you need to be in the right room 1st of April.
Have to be there.
But also, Abba, you guys are seeing us out of Ghana Month in style on the 31st of March at the Ghana Club, and you gave us some small apport. The Ghana Club is even older than Ghana. So for those who like to do alternative things, it's not all about the dancing and jamming, which I enjoy, so no shade to that. But if you want to do something different, you head over to the Ghana Club on the 31st. You park your car, simple. There's going to be a lot of food and drink.
Helen.
Hey.
I haven't told you.
Tell me. She hasn't told me, but tell me.
So, you love meat, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to imagine some juicy meat.
In fact, let's do this exercise. Belinda, let's shut our eyes as Abba entices us. You said juicy. Let's go.
Juicy. You can see the juice dripping.
Hey.
It's soft and tender.
Wow.
And it's coming all the way from Namibia.
Namibia.
I'm talking premium quality meat.
Wow.
You've never tasted it. You have to come and taste it.
I've never tasted Namibian meat, and I'm talking strictly about meat. It's very early in the morning. Don't let your mind wander. Delicious, Abba says. So if you want to try something new, go to the Ghana Club. You'll get some history as well. It's Ghana Month. But also, we're bringing some Namibian meat to spice things up. There's 2 films that they're going to be showing to the patrons on the 31st. So is it a ticket per film, or once you get a ticket, you can come and enjoy all the spoils of the day? What are you looking forward to as we wrap up here? Some 3 minutes to the top of the hour, 10 a.m. We're just wrapping up with Belinda and Abba, my 2 womanpreneurs this morning. I have the founder, Atana Woman, General Manager, Hype Up Limited, General Manager and also co-founder of Hype Up Limited. Hypeflix. I beg your pardon. Hypeflix. So, final word. Ladies, what are we looking forward to most for the year 2023? I'll start off with you.
We're looking at success.
Success.
Success. We're looking at doing more. Expect a lot from us. We have a lot of interesting things down.
All right. Now plug the social so we can follow after this.
Yes, we are on Instagram, TikTok as Hypeflix Drive-In. So Hypeflix Drive-In. Or you can search Park and Watch as Park and Watch.
Okay, so check Abba and Hypeflix on the socials and find out how you two can, do something alternative in the capital. And Belinda, also over to you. What are you hoping for the year 2023? And then plug the socials, how we can get involved.
Sure, thank you. So we have themed our year this year the year of the elevated woman in general. So the idea is to be elevated in everything we do, whether you are a mother, whether you are a career woman, an entrepreneur, be elevated, seek elevation. So that is definitely something that we're looking forward to this year. With regards to our socials, it's Atana Women Everywhere, so ATANA, Atana Women Everywhere, and our website is www.atanawomen.com. If you want to get tickets for the conference, you can go on any of our socials and you'll be able to get the link for that over there as well.
Amazing stuff. Abba, you wanted to say something?
I forgot to mention, so if they want to get tickets for this Friday's event, they can go to our website, which is highflixdrivein.com.
Amazing stuff. All right. But also the socials, check it out. There's information on there as well. Ladies, thank you so much for your time this morning, and thank you for being my Womanpreneurs for the last installment of Womanpreneur for Ghana month. So yes, you're very privileged indeed. You're welcome.
Are you coming though?
I will be there. Awesome. Of course, I'll be there. And but Belinda, of course, you'll be there naturally on the 1st, but you'll also be there on the 31st.
Yes, we need to
something alternative, yes, to do. Amazing stuff.